Good morning, friends. I hope you're having a good morning. It is Monday, September 21st, and I wanted to go through our week with you. Hopefully, your parents printed out our weekly checklist for you. Looking ahead at our week, it's a pretty normal week with the exception of Friday. Friday is picture day. A couple people have still been confused about how this checklist works, so I'm going to go through the days with you. So just we'll look solidly through Monday, and then we know the rest of the days are kind of a repeat with the exception of music on Wednesday and picture day on Friday. So every single morning at 9:30, you should be checking into Teams for attendance. At 9:45 until 10:45, we join a whole group team meeting, and that's when we do our reading and writing lesson for the week. When we leave that meeting, it says independent work time from 10:45 to 11:30. Your first task is to finish the writing task we started all together, started in whole group. Then it says complete benchmark online assignments by Friday. So after you do our writing task, you should log into Benchmark. We use the Clever link, and you should do one of your benchmark phonics assignments. Then it says to read 20 minutes. It also says teacher will meet with the red group at 11 o'clock. So if you were in the red group, obviously you're not going to have time to do all of these things. So red group members would finish their writing task and then join the meeting. After that, it says science. Every day, science is at 11:30. Sometimes we meet as a whole group for science and sometimes we do not. So we have to read our checklist and check the virtual classroom for those details. Today it says watch the filmed teacher lesson in the virtual classroom. And then you're doing an activity on page 12 in the notebook. Obviously, you're going to need to look in the virtual classroom to find out what that activity is. Then at 12 o'clock all the way until 1 o'clock is lunch. Followed by at 1 o'clock to 1:30 is our Teams meeting whole group math lesson 3-1. All right, so if you are ready for your math meeting and you're wondering what page to be on, you can look for lesson 3-1 in your book like I've showed you how to do. Then when you leave that meeting around 1:30, which a lot of you don't, a lot of you stay with me, which is fantastic for your math independent time. But if you leave that meeting at 1:30, then you go into independent math time. It says do pages 123, 125, and 2 problems on 126. And those are in your workbook. Then complete and turn in the 3-1 quick check online, and then complete a lesson on Dreambox. If you follow this schedule exactly, you will know what to do for the entire day. And then finally, at the end of the day, it says specials and flexible time. Do one special activity from our virtual classroom, such as art, PE/movement, library, music, or visit the counselor's office. Music is something new that I added this week. And it was a music virtual classroom made by the music teacher. So you can check that out. It also says to make sure you've completed your tasks for the day. So some friends I've noticed when it gets to Friday, they haven't completed their benchmark tasks. Every single day you have an hour and 15 minutes to make sure your tasks for the day are done. So every single day at the end of the day, if you have not finished things like done one benchmark task for the day, you should get online and do that during this flexible time you have. It says catch up on reading or Dreambox minutes. So again, if there's anything from the day, like a Dreambox lesson, a benchmark task, reading 20 minutes that you did not have time to do earlier in the day, you have an hour and 15 minutes at the end of the day to do that. That is quite a bit of time. All right. Tuesday looks very similar. The one piece that is different every day, that looks very different every day, is science. So if you look down at science, it says you're going to go to the FOSS website and read liquids and watch solids and liquids video. Okay. Everything else on Tuesday is pretty much the same. Wednesday is always a little special because we have music. So you still check in at 9:30. But at 9:45, rather than joining the class meeting, you join music through that Zoom link that the music teacher shares. Then we have a shorter class meeting, and then your independent time on Wednesday. Same thing as every day. You finish up your writing task. If you have time, you get on benchmark, you read your 20 minutes, and I meet with the blue group. Lunch, team meeting, and then Wednesday afternoons. The only difference is we get out at 2:45. So you don't have to spend an hour and 15 minutes on Wednesday working. At 2:45, you are done for the day. All right, Thursday, another normal day. On Thursday under science, we can see it says join the Teams meeting for a live science lesson. That means when it says live science lesson, that means that we are meeting in Teams on Thursday for our science lesson. You are not watching a video, you are not reading anything online, you are joining the class for a meeting. And then it says activity on page 13 in Notebook. Obviously, you're not going to know what that activity is unless you join our live meeting. So that's important that you try to make it to those. The rest of Thursday is normal. And then Friday this week is picture day. So we are actually going to school for our picture day on Friday, our whole classes. And so in the morning, you'll check in like normal. We'll have a very short team meeting. And then the independent task, the only independent task is to make sure all benchmark tasks are completed. If you've been doing them every single day, then you will have no independent task on Friday. And after our meeting, you can head straight over to school or even have a little break before you have to go to school for picture day. After you get home, it says for Friday, you have an iCheck in Teams. Which is a test, and it says it can be found under assignments. And then also, since it's Friday, you have to film your weekly Flipgrid video. Your Flipgrid video is under science because you're presenting what you learned in science that week and what you did in your notebook in science that week. So if I just kind of glance back, I see that you should have something on page 12 and something on page 13 in your notebook to present in your Friday Flipgrid video. All right, and then Friday afternoon, very normal. We have our whole group math lesson, our independent math tasks, and then all of our normal specials. And something special about Fridays, every Friday at the end of the day, you have the option to join a 2:30 to 3:30 Minecraft group, but that is only for friends who have finished all of their tasks for the entire week. All of this information is also in our virtual classroom. So if your parents do not print out the checklist for you, you can look in our virtual classroom and it gives you the same information. You open up to the start of the day, you scroll down, and this is the first thing we do during the day, 9:45 to 10:45. I put a little arrow to show which week we are on. We're on Unit 1, Week 3. These are the slides we do all together. But as I've shown you before, if you don't remember your independent task, you can go to those slides and look at the writing task because that is the thing that it's always the last thing we do in our meeting. And so that's going to be the activity that you'll have to finish up on your own if you don't finish in our group meeting. So it's the same every day. The last task is the writing task, and that's what you finish on your own. All right. Next part of the day. So you leave our class meeting at 10:45 and you scroll to the next slide. 10:45 to 11:30, reading and phonics independent work time. I laid this out hopefully in a more clear manner. This matches the checklist. Finish the writing tasks we started in our whole group meeting. Do a phonics task and benchmark each day. Here's how you log in. You click on Clever. Read 20 minutes every day. And then it gives you a couple options of how you can do that reading. And then finally, I added practice your spelling words a couple times this week. It's up to you how you want to do that. All of our benchmark tasks are aligned with our spelling. So if you are doing your benchmark tasks, you are practicing your spelling words, but it might be a good idea to also practice writing them out. And then they are listed right here. I took away any extra links on this page, so all your links are right here. All right. Once 11:30 comes, you scroll to the next slide. 11:30 to 12. Here's what you do Monday. Here's what you do Tuesday. Here's what you do Thursday. And here's what you do Friday. All right. And then when you hit 12 o'clock, you know it's lunchtime. So you have a break for an hour and then 1 o'clock. Whole group meeting, 1 o'clock to 1:30. It tells you the three things that you do each day. It tells you which lessons we're doing each day, which page numbers you have to do each day. All right, and then finally, when we hit 2:15 and you're done with all your math, you scroll to the next slide. 2:15 to 3:30 is your flexible time. You can click on any of these different links and do one activity each day. And then I did add an extra little just for fun at the very bottom. after you've done all your tasks for the day, of course. All right, hopefully that is clear and you are ready for this week. See you in a little bit, guys.